we are back. We took a little time off. We saw some family over the holidays, and we're back making content per all of the flooding requests we got in our DMs. So
yeah, good to be back. We might be a little rusty, but we're back, baby.
Yep, the flannel channel is back shoving music down your throat. Year's coming to an end. That means you're reflecting back on what music came out, what music stuck with you throughout the entire year. What was just a little fling that you liked for about 2 or 3 weeks and then never went back to it. So we are diving in to our top undisclosed number of albums because there's a fun little twist at the end of the year. So starting off, what you got, Dave?
I got this little pop duo here. They actually run pretty deep in their connection as they are brother and sister.
Whoa, now.
L.A., all right, my favorite place, Los Angeles, California. And it is Between Friends. I've been running in circles, you're bruising up my heart. With the album I Love My Girl, She's My Boy. I can never remember that album title because it is strange, and so are they, and that's why I like them. Their aesthetic is cool, and so is their musical soundscape. They have some really good songs, including Bruise, which is still one of my favorites to date, and they really came through with this album with a couple slappers, a couple bangers, and still enjoy it to this day.
Yeah, they are very good. They dropped a single this last week.
They did.
On Friday.
Did not listen to it, but I did see it.
It is good.
I laid eyes, but still got to play it.
Not as good as Bruise, but equates to the same. I mean, nothing. That's their best song.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to top Bruise.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to enjoy that. They still got other bangers. It's kind of like Smiley-ish vibes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah, good stuff.
Love them. All right. My undisclosed number, my base, my bottom of the pyramid, which you need a good solid foundation, is made up of 7 songs. Because it's by this guy called Knox, and his little EP is called How to Lose a Girl in 7 songs. Then she said, I like your confidence, but you're not the 1975. Knox is pretty damn good. I got into him around August or September-ish, maybe. And I've added, I think, actually every single one of his songs. He doesn't have that many songs. He's got like a few EPs here and there and a lot of singles. But I've added every single one of them to my library because they're all really, really good. He's got that really popular song, You're Not the 1975. It's actually getting played on the radio some places I've seen on his social media, which is sick.
That is sick.
You guys just really had a hell of a 2023. That's what year we're in. And yeah, he's going on tour. He's not coming near us. That sucks. I would love to see him. He looks really good live. But How to Lose a Girl in 7 songs, 7 bangers. He's got a little bit of a poppy sound with about 8% angst. I would not call him pop punk in any way, shape, or form. Although Spotify likes to kind of classify him as that. It'll be like my playlist suggested Hot Milk and then him, and it just doesn't flow. But he is really damn good, and I suggest you check him out.
Hell yeah. Knox your socks off. Little dad joke for you. Switched it up on that one.
I like it.
Cool. So to build up from that beautiful foundation I laid, that layer of brick on the bottom of the pyramid, we're going to go one level up here for a staple in my music listening history, Mr. Uzi Vert. Bitch, don't call my phone, you heard I'm doing well. I don't give 2 F's like a Fendi bell. With the pink tape. So, it's not that good, right? It's compared to the rest of the stuff, it's not as good. I always compare it to a nice speeding race car going lane to lane through genres that he's switching up and doing some nice experimentation with his sound, which is always cool. Does it always hit? Not so much, but he has Flooded the Face on there, a good leak that has been just really anticipated by fans for quite some time. That sounds awesome. He has some really good moments on it. I'm always going to listen to Uzi. Even if it's subpar/mid, I will listen, and I'll probably like it because I'll play it so much that my ears will want it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's that.
Yeah, pink tape. I'm kind of surprised you got it on there, but I don't discredit it by any means.
Yeah, and we saw him perform it, and it was great, and that always gives you a nice positive reflection on the music too. So.
It does. It made me add a lot of those songs to my workout playlist.
Yeah.
It's like I had half of them, and I was like, I need the other half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Is it his best album? No. Is it still really good? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Fucking love it. All right. My undisclosed number that I have next, it's not as good or is slightly better than the first one, but not as good as the next. The Best Part About Being Human by Bearings. I talked about them in our top summer albums, and I'm talking about them again because I'm still listening to this shit. I love it. It's good for so many different environments, moods, feelings. It's a little pop punky, 100%, but it's so good. The lyricism on it's actually what really ropes me back in, which I love pop punk. It's my number 2 genre, according to my Spotify Wraps, which is fair. But it's not the most lyrically in-depth, if I may say. But this album is. They do a lot of cool concepts. They have a lot of cool not visuals, but like visual imagery that they kind of paint their pictures with their songs, which a lot of pop punk doesn't do. So I really appreciate that. And it's lighthearted enough to where you don't have to actually be pissed off at your mom to listen to it. It's good no matter what. So if you haven't listened to it yet, after I already talked about it 2 other times, check it out. I promise you'll probably like it.
Yeah, man. Let's love our moms, all right? Let's get rid of that stigma, okay? Pop punk is for the lovers, not the fighters, all right? Cool. So we're gonna just keep on building this pyramid. We're like the ancient Egyptians out here, just building it up. Our next one here, you know him, you love him. He's got nails in his hair and he can't sleep at night. How do you sleep at night? Tizo Touchdown.
Well, baby, I got a plan. I know what I'm gonna do.
The guy has come up immensely in 2023. He released this album. It actually did pretty poorly on record sales and just streams in general.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did not do very well at all.
Huh.
Did not do very well at all. Drake co-signed it. Like, so much hype behind this thing, but people really didn't listen. I think it's just because it is so odd, which is why I do enjoy it and I enjoy him. And it's just very unique. I was telling everybody about this album. I was like, you got to listen to Tizo. You got to listen to Tizo. But he does have some goofy ass moments on it where you're like, okay, what am I really listening to here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is tough, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely when it first came out. I listened to it nonstop. And then as I do, I fell off of it, but it still deserves a spot on this list. And shout out Tizo.
Yeah, that album is so good. I almost put it on my list, but I knew that you would have it on yours.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones you just love to put the whole album on. Like, it's hard. You can, and you do, listen to one-off songs from it, but the best way to digest it is just put it at the top.
Yep.
Listen to it. It's like 47 minutes of just greatness. Tizo is your favorite artist. That's the best way to put it.
Shout out that way to explain it.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
All right. My next one up in the pyramid is a complete, I guess, left turn from Bearings to The Boys of Faith by Zack Bryan. Why are you laughing?
That is just such a left turn.
Hell yeah, we're diverse in this. I'm not just shoving the same thing down your throat.
Yeah.
I am still spamming this. I think that, well, one, Zack Bryan does whatever the fuck he wants. He just releases music as he pleases, which I love. He released this a month after self-titled, highly anticipated album. I really enjoyed that album, but I'm only going back to about half of it. And I think his fans were all expecting something a little bit different. And I think what they were expecting is more along the lines of Boys of Faith. And then he just comes a month later and delivers this EP with, I mean, not a single miss on it. I love all of these songs. And he dropped it right as the leaves started to turn a little yellow, a little red, and it just hit diff. It looked like Dave's shirt outside when he dropped this album.
Turn a little crispy, turn a little yellow.
Well, funny enough, the playlist that I have this on is called Crispy because it was just crispy weather when I wanted to play this stuff. And it's good, man. It took me a year to come around to Zack Bryan, and I'm glad I did. Better late than never. And if you're late to him too, better late than never. Get on the train. You're going to love it.
Hop on the Zachy train. It's good stuff. Great features on that thing too.
Fantastic features.
Yeah, good features for sure. I also have quite the left-hand turn here. I think we have a NASCAR theme in this video.
Let's go.
But yeah, I have Yokelore, which I really got into towards the second half of this year with an album name that's weird, and I don't want to mispronounce it or missay it. Towards a Never-Ending New Beginning. How insightful.
That's a cool name.
It is. It is. He's a cool guy. So he's very like folk and came up on the banjo type beat. But with this album, he definitely got into a little bit more pop. Like he has some like straight electronic kicks on it and is just a little bit more clean sounding, I guess. And he has some really good songs on there, man. Some really good My Life is a Movie and I'm in high school riding a bike down a Sunset Hill in California type beat music.
That's a beautiful picture you just painted.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Go put him on and you'll see for yourself.
I love it.
And yeah, shout out Yoklor. He's still making good stuff and reinventing himself with this new album, and I love it for him.
Sweet. All right, my next one up in the pyramid is The First Time by Kid Laroi.
All those memories we made are burning in my brain, and I'm stuck in yesterday.
I knew that this album was coming, but then it kind of snuck up on me because he dropped a single, and I was like, whoa, he dropped a single. And Dave talked about it in the weekly recap. And then the next week, he dropped an album, and I was like, whoa, here's the album. And it's so good. I've thoroughly enjoyed this thing. Why are you not?
It's very good. Yeah, no, it is.
I know you were making a face.
No.
I like when it first came out, I was like, this is really good. But it was a sleeper, even though I recognized its greatness. It's like I see it in my library and I am constantly starting this album from the top and listening to it all the way through and loving it all the way. I think the worst verse in it is the NBA verse in it, though. He sounds terrible. They should have auto-tuned him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I like what he says, but I'm getting off track. This album is so good. I think Kid Laroi took another step in his musical endeavors because last album was still really good. He had Stay on it. People love that shit. It's got like billions of streams. Great song. But this one, he kind of went more into his feels, even though he's always been in his feels.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job illustrating how he felt with words throughout all of this. He's got some ballads on here. He's got future verses. Like, it goes all over the place. And what really makes me like be sold on this album is even the interludes are good. When you listen to this album from start to finish, like, normally I skip a stupid interlude if they're just talking. I actually listen to these because it really helps shape the idea of this album. And it's just really beautifully done. Ooh, a little voice crack there. A little beautifully done. It's just really, really good through and through. And I think the ending just really caps it off beautifully. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to it and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The Kid Laroi.
Yeah, I think usually when you have a very good album, there's some sort of motivation or emotion behind it, and it sounds like he broke up with his girlfriend of 3 years, and that really pushed him to make something great, and I'm glad for him. Shout out that cut video he did with the button. That was some great work by Kid Laroi there. He seems like a nice guy. Next one for me, I also have another album name that's a little bit more introspective. This guy is another banjo playing star, absolutely twiddling the fingers on the banjo strings.
Tickling the strings.
He's tickling the strings.
Oh, I like that.
His name's Runner. He's a little bit smaller, but I really like him. And he has this new deluxe album out there called Like Dying Stars, We're Reaching Out. These guys, man.
Holy shit.
Love an album title that doesn't sound normal. And it's great, man. He does some really cool stuff with delays. He plays a great banjo. If you go see him live, he doesn't have a banjo. He has straight electric guitars out there, and it's like a freaking classic rock show.
That's sick.
So not what I expected, but still very good. And he's cool. He is really relatable lyrics, I would say. He's a very normal guy that can sing well and very good at music. So it's kind of cool to listen to just a normal dude out there spitting his stuff. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like a crunchy fall leaf and a nice croissant on a fall evening, listen to some Runner. It'll put you in a good spot.
Bringing it back to the croissant.
I love a croissant, man.
I do too. I feel you on that.
Freaking good.
My next one up in the pyramid rungs is Halo by Bakar.
I'm done waiting for your love to come up. Don't come up.
This album is so damn good. I know I said that about all of them. That's why they're on my top albums of the year. But I had no idea who Bakar was before this year, because sometimes you just have those artists that are really popular, but you just kind of miss them. Whether I blame Spotify because their Discover features are awful. But yeah, I found him. He like popped up on my Instagram timeline of him demoing I'm Done before it came out. And he was like, out this Friday. So I listened to it that Friday and I was like, holy shit, this song is amazing. And then he dropped the album like a month later, and through and through, great album. I think it's great for all seasons, which is why it is so high up here. Some of these are very spring, summer, fall albums. This one is a year-round banger. And, I mean, he just makes great music. And I've seen some of his concert videos, and there goes the green screen.
God damn it. What the hell is going on here? Fucking Bakar. You have a headache? No. I hate that for you.
All right, well, Halo is so fucking good. We're back again. It's like the fourth.
So good it'll knock a green screen down.
That's a great way to end it. All right, so now the reason we had an undisclosed number is because we actually agree on the top two, which is also rare. We did it for the summer one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to do 7, so it's even 5 from both of us. The number 2 spot in our album of the year is, let's start here with Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty.
What do you want to say about this album first?
I think a common theme here is that I've seen most of the artists on my list, and I've also seen Lil Yachty perform this album, and it was so good. Obviously, we've talked about this a good amount, so there's not too much I haven't already said about it, but great reinvention of himself, such a left-hand turn for himself in his little NASCAR, swerving through genres.
Making those left turns,
Making those left turns. I mean, it's really recognized as a great shift for him. He executed super well. He got the right people involved, right people in the room, and he has a great product with this album. So really just proud of the guy. I love him.
Nice. Yeah, I love this album too. It was when I was really in my running phase in the winter. This was the best album to run to because it just takes you to a completely different space. There is nothing like this album that is out right now. I'm sure there is in some weird niche of music that I'm just not aware of, but for an artist of this caliber who's like, he's good, but he sometimes sucks and he has a lot of misses, to then just completely transition, do this Pink Floyd influenced sound where he's just going off on a journey the whole time is incredible. And for it to hit as well as it did and have no misses on the whole thing is so impressive. And it really speaks to how musically talented he actually is. He just kind of did weird things with all his like Lil Boat 3 and whatnot. Like he's got some misses. And I think that kind of opened him up to do Strike, Holster, Tesla, and all the other new back on rap but different stuff that he's been doing. So yeah. I mean, I love this album. Listen to it on a nice long run. You're going to just forget that you're actually working really hard.
Hell yeah. Shout out Lil Yachty. Best in the game right now.
All right, Dave.
Holy hell. All right.
The number one.
I got so excited. I almost announced this when we first started recording. The number one here. We've both seen him, all right? He gets real sweaty when he's on stage. He likes
like we are.
Drinking a coffee. He likes getting amped up because if he's not sweating, he's not working, and he takes off layers of clothing while he's performing. Sounds like it's a sex show. It's not. It's Dominic Fike with Sunburn.
Sunburn!
Great guy. We've been waiting for this for quite some time, and we finally got this album. It's actually an old album, but he released it for us because it's that good. And it really just is a testament to even his old stuff is great and kind of takes over. the space right now because he's that freaking good. And
Hell yeah, he is.
this thing just kind of ran my summer. You know, I only listened to this all summer. It was such an anthem, such a vibe, and it definitely deserves the number one spot for me. Dominic Fike's freaking awesome. I hope he never stops making music, and that's my number one fear in the world. So,
yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with all of that. He's such a talented artist. There's a reason we put him in our top 5 or top 10 albums we've been looking forward to this year at the beginning of the year.
yup.
We only missed on a few of those, but Dominic Fike was like our number 2 on that for a reason, because this album is so good. It is 3 years old, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't miss. And we talked about him. We put him at the number 1 of our top Summers albums. Spoilers, I'm sorry if you haven't watched that, but go watch it because there's other good things on there too. But he deserves this spot because musically he is so freaking talented. Lyrically, he's so freaking talented. And I just love the guy, man. Yeah. I'm really excited for what he does next because he's talked about how he's leaving this Florida mindset behind. We're going to get the I'm now famous Dominic Fike. I'm in euphoria Dominic Fike. I'm being my still introverted self in a very demanding world where people want to talk to all the time, Dominic Fike. So I'm really excited for what's coming next, but I'm relishing in this baby while it's here, and I'm loving it.
Nice. Yeah. That created some hype there. Now I'm hyped.
Now I want to go listen to that album.
Now I'm hyped for Euphoria album, Dominic Fike. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Euphoria in like 3 years when they're 35 playing 18-year-olds or whatever.
Not going to be the same, but whatever. Cool.
Well, that's
our pyramid.
Yeah. I had another voice crack there. Are you laughing at my voice crack? Shut up. All right. Well, I've had enough voice cracks for one video. Let us know if you agree with this list. What's your top albums of the year? What are you bumping? What do you like? What do you not? Let us know. And make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.